y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I want to talk about a few books I've read in my 20s that have changed my life. Okay, whatever. But realistically, I want to talk about a few books that really I've read in my 20s that have changed my life. And yes, I read, okay? I always saw these type of videos like back when I was in my 20s, or I just used to see a lot of these type of videos like 30 things I did before 30, or 20 books I read in my 20s, 20 things I learned in my 20s. And I like the gist of it. Have I ever watched it? No. Why? Because I don't got time to learn what you done learned in your 20s. I'm going through mine and that ain't where I'm at yet. So I get that this video may not resonate for some people that want to live their own path and maybe not take that advice, and that is fine. I mean, I do it to an extent as well. But it is also nice to hear from someone else what they've been through, what they've learned, so it can help you, because honestly, life really does repeat itself. This list of books I'm gonna give y'all are for the beginners. These are for the beginner readers who are like breaking back into reading. And I say that because reading is time consuming, if anything, you know? So reading can be like just daunting for a lot of people. But I think because it is so daunting of a task to do, it's like, that's why all the best kept secrets are in books. Because it's like, who's gonna really take the time and like read this book and like catch the message, you know? For that very reason, it is worth it. And I try to tell people like, hey, read this book, read this book. And it's not to be trendy, it's not to be annoying, it's to be like, bitch, I'm trying to tell you something that's gonna change your life. So anyways, if you're into that and if you're on that, this is the video for you. So the first book that I was introduced to in the book community is The Secret. The book The Secret is a very good beginner book, and it overall just tells you that like our thoughts create our realities. We can think our life. It basically tells you to imagine your life. And I say that that's the really beginning, the best beginner book to start your journey, because it really starts you off with your mind and how to control your thoughts and how to think positively. When I first started reading and getting into books, I wanted to change myself. If you don't know, I'm a Virgo. Hi, my name is Alondra and I'm a Virgo. So yeah, I'm very self-aware and I like to try to improve myself, you know, when I can. The Secret is a book that really can take you from wherever you're at and get you started. It's a very good entry level, level 1. You need to read The Secret, okay? Like, how you gonna tell me you be into books and you a self-help guru and this what you do and you ain't even read The Secret? So it's kind of like, you know, I don't want to give any spoilers, but it really helps you to start thinking positively and start putting your life in that direction. Another book I read in my 20s was Girl Boss. Girl Boss, this one was when I first moved out. I was living on my own for the first time, and I felt like, ooh, I'm independent. Like, I live on my own. I got my own place, own car, own house. So this was that book. This was just a girls book. Sophia Amoruso, she owns Nasty Gal website, and this book just basically like put into my mind, whatever you're doing, you can do whatever you're doing, but on a bigger scale. Like that little hobby you have, you can take it further. That's what this book put into me. And I really like that. And I like the fact that it kind of fell in her lap, which we're gonna touch on that later on. But I like the fact that it kind of came out of nowhere for her, you know, unexpectedly. You know, she was just trying to figure it out, believed in herself and went for it, and not only like became the role of what she needed to be, she also was just like brave. Like she just was brave and did it. And yeah, so I think that was really a good book. Another book I read in my 20s was You Are a Badass: How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. So a lot of these books I read was in my last apartment, and it was one, you know, the other years on my YouTube channel. And it was just when I was in that space. So this is actually like kind of cool. Like we're going down memory lane. Look at us. Okay, so this book helped me to understand like about procrastination and just about believing in yourself and about going after it. This book also, when you listen to her on Audible, it really was really motivating. I liked her approach with this book. I like how she tried to be very just blunt and direct and energetic. But I also listened to this book on Audible. So it gives you just an upbeat, like it's bright yellow, like it's bold. You are a badass. This book was very bold, and like, I just like that because it's what you need to hear, and it motivates you, but it just gives you that of like, why not me? You know? This book is one I feel like you can pick up reading anywhere and it can apply to your life. This was really good. It was just like, get up off your ass and come on, live this life, do it. From what I remember, y'all. From what I remember. All right, of course we got The Alchemist. Oh, we got The Alchemist. How corny are we? But we have The Alchemist. Now, this book, y'all, one fun fact, every book damn near I have was gifted to me. I stole this. These are stolen goods. Like, you give it to me, I never give it back. You know, that's why I don't have the secret here, because she's been gifted and she's never been returned. So yes, I still have your book. So anyways, so The Alchemist, I never finished this one. This one I wanted to read because, oh, it had this good message. I mean, I could try again, but what for? It's very slow. It's like reading the Bible. Like, it's just what is going on? And you want me to get this message, but all this storytelling, I don't like the storytelling of a lot of books. This one is like a story. I like someone talking to me, and like, that's what I like. So that's the only reason why I never really got into this one, but I'm putting this on there because the message of it, I mean, look at this. Look at the back of it. To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. That is some real shit. Maybe I should try reading this again now. Oh my God. Well, there we have it. Maybe I need to read this now. My last year in my 20s. I may need to really read it and get the message, because what the hell is the message? So yeah, this is The Alchemist. Another book I read in my 20s was Milk and Honey. What the fuck you thought it was? What you thought this was? What you come here for? What the fuck you thought it was? So Milk and Honey by Rupi. Let's not even do it. Milk and Honey. So this book, I came across her on Instagram, like what, back in 2015? I don't know, but way back when. And she first posted a picture of her laying on the bed. If I could find the picture, I would post it. But it was her laying on the bed with like a little period stain or whatever. And that was the first picture I ever saw of her. And I just thought that picture was so honest and fucking normal and like real. And she posted this like back on Instagram, just, you know, expressing herself. Those who don't know, I used to write poems, yeah. I used to write poems growing up, and I've always been like a writer. And so when I came across her page and then I just saw that she was a poet, I was like, oh my goodness, like, I love poetry. Like, what the hell? I live in my emotions. I'm a lover girl. Like, what the hell? Of course I love poetry. And so this is one book that like, just the way I came across her was her being bold and being honest, direct, and raw, and unfiltered and uncut, but in such a poetic way. I was like, oh my goodness, of course I'm gonna buy her book. So, I mean, Milk and Honey is an old one, but I mean, of course, any of her newer books and any poetry book, because You know, I mean, that's what these Instagram pages are. A lot of these pages now are, you know, poetry just in memes. And I like these type of books because it just ignites like a sensual side of me. It makes me just daydream, and it makes me, you know, it makes me think, and it makes me feel good, sexy, and intellectual. You know, it's like art, really. So these type of books are really nice to read in your 20s. One book I just finished. This isn't going to be a lot of books, y'all, but these are going to be the main books that mean something to me. When I think about books that have really like helped me, these are those books, okay? How Can I Get Through to You? Closing the Intimacy Gap Between Men and Women. So I got this book randomly because I just heard someone like referencing it, and I was curious. But I didn't know when I was getting this book that it's about relationships. I don't know what I thought it was about. But when I got it, I was like, oh, we're in therapy. This book is like we're in the therapist's office, okay? It really just talks about the way men and women are socialized differently. And because of that, it can really be a lot of conflict in dating, relationships, and marriage. But it can also be neither one of our faults, but it's also our responsibility a little bit, you know, to do better. But why it's so hard to do better when you've been socialized to do what you've been doing. That's what this talks about. And that's why it's called How Can I Get Through to You? Because it's like, bro, like, listen to me. And then women are like, listen to me. And men are like, what? You said it once. Like, all right, be quiet. And they're inside of them, they may be feeling one way, but it's hard for them to express it because they're not taught to express it. But they may not even know how to express what they may not even know how they feel. It's some fucked up shit. And this book helps, okay? He also has another one that's about men and depression that I want to read, even though I'm not a man. But I think that it's worth me reading, so I may also get into that too. But y'all gotta start reading books because they just break things down in a way that we really can understand. Like, they break every thought down. Literally, like, a lot of questions you may have, it's literally answered in books, you know? So anyways, another book I read in my 20s was The 4 Agreements. This book is special to me because it was also referred to me, and this was the first book I finished reading in one day. So that's good. That's good news, y'all. That means it's an easy read. But this book really helped me to not listen to society. It had the idea if we just live our life with these 4 agreements, you know, surrounding these 4 agreements, we should do okay. And the agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, always do your best. This year is the always do my best year. This is I'm in my 4th agreement right now. That's my mood, y'all. That's my mood. Definitely check this book out. Don't take anything personally. That's a big one. Like, come on. Be impeccable with your word. Keep your word. Like, you know, stand for something, you know? Don't make assumptions. This book is just another good beginner book. This one is number 2 after The Secret. Let's read The Secret, and let's go off to the 4 agreements. Let's go to the 4 agreements. After the 4 agreements, here we go. Another book I read in my 20s, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Come on. What are we doing? These are the staple books. I'm just giving y'all the basics, okay? You need to be reading this in your 20s. If you know how to read, let's start here. If you don't know how to read, they are on Audible now. So honestly, now it's no excuse. But here we go, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a good starter book to help you understand, to help you understand the importance of just being financially smart. It just basically talks about not knowing anything about money and just being completely financially illiterate, and how that you can turn that around, and anyone can turn that around with knowledge, with resources, and just the will to do better financially. So Rich Dad Poor Dad is a good one. Let's go to this book I read in my 20s, A Return to Love. Y'all, I was seeing this around. I was seeing it everywhere. Y'all, top 2 and not 2. That's it right there. Top 2 and not 2. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. This book is just one that it's just a feel-good book. Like, reading this book, I felt like I was being hugged the whole time. Like, I felt like I was in grandma's lap and she was just rocking me the whole time I was reading this book. Like, that is how I felt. A return to love, I feel, is also a metaphor to a return to God. This book really takes you back to the source and the core of everything, which is love and which is God. And God is love. And I just feel like this is also, if you can read this book early on, you will be ahead of the game. That's how I feel about this. Reading this one early on, you will just learn to accept the things you cannot change and to promote love and to know deep down, have a sense of self, and just be really grounded and secure. And a hug and a warm sugar cookie. That's this book. Last book I've read so far in my 20s. I wish I had the physical copy. I'm gonna buy this book. I read it on Audible, and this book right here, I saved the best for last. Now, this one is neck and neck, but I saved the best for last. I've been telling people, get on this book. It's on Audible. Yvonne Orji. Where's my phone? Yvonne Orji, Bamboozled by Jesus. How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. Y'all, this book. And Yvonne Orji is narrating it on Audible. So it literally sounds like Molly is talking to you. Like, it's crazy. It's like, I feel like my homegirl is just like, bitch, get your shit together. Like, y'all, so nicely done. Bamboozled by Jesus, How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. Literally just talks about how all things work for the good. Like, literally helps you to appreciate your journey, to be kind, to be true to yourself, to believe in yourself, and even in the times you don't believe in yourself, to just do your best and just do it, and everything will work out. Everything's gonna work out. So why even stress along the way, honestly? But it's just a very motivating, funny, cool book. I would recommend listening to it on Audible because, I mean, I love Molly, and her voice, I'm just like, it's just so authentic, her reading this book. So that book, please just read it on Audible, please. And then I'm gonna end the video here, but I'm just gonna throw a spoiler out there so I don't have to do maybe a part 2. But also read Viola Davis. Ooh, please read Viola Davis and really listen to that on Audible, because I mean, who doesn't want to hear Annalise Keating? Like, what the hell? Who are you people? Y'all, listen to Viola Davis, Finding Me. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Just, what are we doing here? Like, these books are amazing. Like, their stories are amazing. Like, oh my God. They're just some good reads, y'all. And they have a message behind it. And the message is everything. So those are some books I read in my 20s that have really got my mind right and really helped me to stay positive and stay happy about life and to find my happiness and to sustain it. So yeah, those are the books I read in my 20s that have helped shift my life, guys. Woo. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this video here. Please let me know you enjoyed this video by giving it a thumbs up, and also do me one up, and maybe subscribe to the channel. That would be impressive. Anyways, I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.